Hey, Russell Hotels going live just for a couple of minutes. You guys know how I do it. I do these daily check-ins daily. Okay, it's like 12:36. I normally do it about noon. I call them nooners, right? But I'm here now. So hope you guys are doing well. Happy Friday to you. Today is January 5th. If I haven't said it already, if you haven't joined me, since the first of the year, Happy New Year, Happy 2024. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. Are you back at work? Is all that stuff going on? Have we transitioned from the holidays back to work? I don't know, but I have. Okay, so I don't think I ever stopped, right? I mean, you kind of, when you work from home, when you do your own thing, you kind of never stop working, right? There's always something that you think about that you can add or change and all this kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I do kind of all the time. So not saying that 24/7 I'm working 24/7, but no, I didn't say that, but I do put in a lot of time of, coming up with stuff, being creative, putting things out, using different things to promote my business and things like that. I'm not sure if you guys saw, and I didn't cue it up, but I just put up a video and I put it on all my social media platforms, right? I did YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think I did it on TikTok and IG as well as X, right? So it was a video of me saying, basically, just in case you didn't know, I mean, I do these daily check-ins as well as on air with Russell of Hotels. Well, that was AI, right? That wasn't even me, right? That's the thing. So you got to be creative about what you do, how you doing it, and you got to, your time is important, right? The time is valuable. So if you can come up with something that can maybe shave a couple minutes off of what you normally do, and then put that couple minutes that you shaved off into something else, you know what? Why not do it, right? So I'm going into 2024 using AI to its fullest potential. And I got the basic AI. I got the basic, free 99 AI, and I'm still crushing it. Okay, that's what people say. Oh, I'm crushing it, right? We got to crush 2024. Whatever. Anyway, I'm live on we got to crush it. You hear it all the time, right? So, hey, I'm live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Okay, so I'm not on TikTok or IG. Oh, something happened. Something kind of funky happened, but YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. That's where I'm live on right now. So you can be on any one of those platforms. You can communicate with me on those platforms. Just put a comment, and I'll see them right on the screen time. So I'm all about hospitality, right? So On Air with Russell of Hotels is one of my shows, as well as this daily check-in. So I'm Russell Edmond. I call myself Russell of Hotels, right? People ask me, how do you come up with this name? I was like, it's funny. It's funny. You should ask that, right? So I get this question every time I go to like a conference or a trade show. And the first thing they say, I'm just curious, what is Russell of Hotels and what does that mean? And I always tell them, I said, well, because a lot of times I'm sitting across from someone that's either a hotel person or someone that works in a CVB world or DMO. And I always tell them, I said, well, I came from hotels, right? So my first love and my first job was in the hospitality space, in the hotel specifically. And when I started doing my own business, I said, well, I wanted my name in my business. And I said, well, what could I put in other than just my name? Russell Edmond, something, I wasn't really sure. But I said, well, what have I been doing for a long time? And, at that time, 25 years in hotels, you know, 14 different hotels. So I said, well, I'm all about hotels. So I came up with Russell of Hotels, and I pitched it to a couple of people. And one person said, and it always stuck. It was Chris. His name was Chris. What is Chris' last name? I can't think of Chris's last name, but he worked for Broughton Hotels. And he said, I pitched it to him. He was a marketing guy, right? So I pitched to the right person. And he said, I like, because I had another name, right? And I don't even remember what the other name was, but Russell of Hotels was the one I wanted, but I wanted someone else to co-sign, right? So he said, oh, I like Russell of Hotels. I said, why do you like it? He said, it sounds like royalty. Boom. There you go. That's all I needed to hear. It was, he came up with that. He said that. He said it sounded like royalty. So I'm like, damn, that's it. So yeah, that's how I came up with the name of Russell of Hotel. Chris Pineda. Chris Pineda is the one that kind of helped me. He's kind of co-signed for it, right? So let's just shout out to Chris. Okay, so appreciate you, Chris, for helping me out. I don't think I ever thanked him for that, but maybe he even slipped his mind. I don't know. haven't talked to him in a minute, but yeah, he helped me come up with that, or he actually co-signed for it. I came up with it, but he co-signed. So, and then after that, when they say you sound like royalty, boom, that's all I needed to hear. Let's move forward. So yeah, so that's how the name Russell of Hotels came. But it's all about a story, right? So when we do these, come on and do lives, and yeah, I'm all about hospitality, hotels. Talk about tourism. I talked about yesterday. I talked about DMOs and their responsibility as far as vetting, planners and things like that to come to their events, their pre and post fam trips and all that kind of stuff. I talked about that yesterday because it was a conversation I was having with someone, and a lot of stuff I talk about has to do with real life stuff, stuff that we deal with today. And if that's being slighted on a fam trip, or the CVB person not being well versed on who you are or what you can bring to the table or what business you have out there. Like I said, and this was yesterday's talk, so please feel free to go back and listen to it. Plus, it's still there. I don't get rid of the stuff, but shame on them for not vetting. But during a conference, during a meeting, or during the fam trip, that's not the time to vet. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there again because, as you can tell, that was kind of a I don't say it hit me personally, but when someone shares that like you, and shares that with you, and that person was kind of slighted and then disrespected in some respect. So right, so I'm like, well, I got to bring this up, right? Because that it shouldn't happen. Those things should not happen, and no one should be left to feel some kind of way because they didn't do their homework. Okay, so anyway, but those are kind of things I talk about. I talk about service in hotels, the good, the bad, the ugly of things that can happen when you check into a hotel, or when you leave a hotel, or when you're staying at a hotel. There's a lot of things that happen. So these things are based on my experiences coming up, like I said, 20, 25, 30 years of experience, 14 different hotels, limited service, select service, full service, four diamond, never worked at a five diamond, but four diamond hotel, and down, to a three. Most hotels, I just say most hotels are three diamond hotels anyway. A lot of people don't know that. They like, you know, because we get caught up in, and I jump around a lot, just so you know, okay. But I have an agenda, right? I'm 7 minutes into it, just relax. But a lot of people, they listen to, or they look at, and I'll just notice the third parties have kind of ruined the diamond system, or the diamond system, right? Because before AAA rated hotels, right, and they still do, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds. Okay, this is in the States, right? Well, Expedia and all the other third parties came along, and they started with this star system, right? Well, it's a 3-star hotel, a 5-star hotel. I'm like, what is a 5-star hotel? What does that mean? And because I had this neighbor, she was asking me, she knew what I did, and she was asking me about a hotel. She goes, "Oh, I stayed at this Courtyard, and it was a 5-star hotel." I said, "It's a Courtyard?" And me knowing that, I'm thinking about the diamond system, right? And I said, "Well, how'd you book your hotel?" Well, I booked it through a third party, Expedia, whatever. I said, "Well, no, they have their own rating system, okay, and it's based on a series of different things, right? It's not based on the same things that AAA would, rate. And AAA rates, their rating systems are diamonds, not stars. So the system is kind of convoluted. The industry now is convoluted with all these different people are getting confused over diamonds and stars. Okay, well let me just clear for you. Diamonds are AAA, and that's who ranks hotels nationwide in the United States. Stars are the third party's thing. They came up with that, right? And because they do more advertising than anyone else, of course, that's what a lot of the Joe consumer will look at it and like, oh, it must be gospel because I saw it on Expedia or Hotels.com or whatever, so it must be true, right? Because they're the ones that are doing all the promotion. And shame on hotels for allowing them to do it, right? But they have more of a budget to do it. They have marketing dollars in the billions to do this stuff, right? Most hotel companies, just look at, you see a lot of hotel companies that advertise on, on TV or even online. Do they even do that a lot? They don't even do that a lot. I'm talking on the internet. They don't, because they don't have the money to do it, right? Well, hey, I'm here to kind of change that. Anyway, so anyway, I do this daily check-in Excuse me. And I get choked up when I start doing these things too. But hey, make sure, I mean, if you guys feel free to make comments, I don't know if I mentioned that. The comment is open. Comment section is open. You can make your comments. Say, hey, how you doing? Happy Friday. Happy New Year. Whatever you want to say it. I'll post it on real time because this is live, right? It's not, oh, wait a minute. Cut, take two. No, this is live, right? So if I mess up or I say something wrong, it's there forever. Or if I'm getting if I'm getting choked up, this is real stuff, right? This is real life stuff. I can't change that I'm getting choked up because I just love doing these lives. Anyway, I do have an agenda. I normally have a couple of topics that I talk about, and they don't take long. And these things aren't meant to be, meaning the daily check-ins aren't meant to be long-winded, although I can be, but they're typically about 20, 30 minutes, maybe no more than that. I try to keep it under that, but sometimes I don't. Let me just see. I see a comment. I see Natasha Daniels. How do you feel about Forbes star rating? Well, Forbes is more international, right? So Forbes, okay, Forbes is a legit company, right? So legit organization. So most of like restaurants, like Michelin star and all that kind of stuff, those are restaurant based things. Forbes, that's a reputable. I have to, I'm not really sure of their system of what you have to look at what are they ranking? What is it based on? And Forbes is more high end hotels, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like the Michelin star, that would be high end restaurants that you go to, right? That's not your run of the mill kind of restaurants, right? So I'll just say it this way. I haven't looked into Forbes that much to know what their rating system is. And I think Forbes is more of an international. It's not just here in the States. AAA is here in the States, and I know because I've gone through the process of being ranked before or rated. Yes, yeah, there you go. So very high end luxury. So so I can't really comment about that because guess what? I don't stay at a lot of high end luxury hotels. Hey, be honest, right? You know what? Don't try to fake the funk. Just be honest. But yeah, I stayed at some, but not a lot. And they all should be high, right? If I'm staying at a Ritz or higher, I'm expecting the same. Any luxury hotel I'm staying in, I'm expecting it to be top notch. I'm getting everything, all the bells and whistles, right? So you would think all of them should be the same, right? But they're not. But they're not. They're just not. So, hello, I'm too bougie. Ain't nothing wrong with being bougie, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so no, nothing wrong with being bougie, nothing wrong with, liking the finer things in life, right? But yeah, so Forbes is international, but the things that separate, say, a 3 from a 4 diamond would be the services. Okay, so valet parking, 24-hour valet parking, 24-hour room service, things like that. A lot of hotels have gotten away from room service. I'm not sure if you knew that because of the pandemic. Maybe now they're just now getting back to that, but a lot of them have stopped that altogether. And because, then you allow the DoorDashes of the world to come in, right? So, but there's still some, your higher end hotels, they will still have that. So they would have to have 24-hour room service, like I said, 24-hour valet, the spa services, things like that. So there's different things that go into that star or the diamond. There's different things that would go into that diamond rating, right? Because most of your hotels, like your 3 diamond hotels, say I'm in Los Angeles, let's just say the ones in Los Angeles, they don't have 24-hour room service. They may have room service, but it only goes up to 10 o'clock. Okay, so it's not 24 hours. So they cannot be rated as a 4 diamond because they don't have that. They don't have the 24-hour valet parking. Some don't even, they got rid of the valet parking. So that's why I was questioning that before, right? So if there was a 4, 5 diamond hotel and then the pandemic hit and they stopped those services, are they still considered a 4 or 5 diamond hotel? Well, I guess they still were because the rates were still high, right? So there you go. So I was just, kind of questioning those things. But yeah, that's a good question. You know what? Thanks for asking that question. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, in fact, hold on one second, Miss Lady. I don't know why your name doesn't show up here, but I can see it on LinkedIn because I'm looking at the LinkedIn on my phone, so I can see that. But for whatever reason, it comes up as LinkedIn user. So there's something you got to do on your end to make sure your name shows up. But I like putting these comments on there because people need to see the comments and questions that you're asking. Yes, yes, high-end luxury, yes. So we're talking about Forbes Hotel and how they rank, different hotels. So then the next one says she said she's too bougie. That means, over the top, I ain't taking anything less than this, I gotta stay at the Ritz or bust, you know what I mean? It's the Ritz or bust for me, okay? Maybe something higher, but no, this is me, okay? I'm bougie, all right? And then she says, good question. Yeah, so there you go. So anyway, so like I said, I do have an agenda, and let me, oh yeah, okay, Miss Natasha Daniels, hey. Where you located, if you don't mind my asking? I'm in LA, like I said, you can see it scrolling across. And this hotel that I'm in right now, this is the proper hotel. Well, I'm not in, I was in it before, but I'm not in it today. But this is the proper hotel downtown LA. So this will be considered, it's a boutique hotel, independently owned. I'm sure there's a couple more propers in the area. I think there's a proper in Santa Monica, but I'm sorry, I'm reading something that somebody's sending me. But yeah, so there's a proper downtown, there's a proper in Santa Monica, and I know there's a couple propers in other cities in California, maybe even throughout the United States. But let's see where she's from. Now DFW, used to live in OC, California. Is that Orange County, California? Okay. So DFW, like Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay. All right. I like Dallas. I got a cousin who lives there. So yeah. Okay. All right. I see you, Miss Natasha Daniels. Thank you so much for coming on. So okay, real quick. Boom. What am I talking about today? Okay, so it's 2024. Think different about promoting your brand, right? So that's one thing. Let's do that one first, right? Because I kind of did a little different format where these things are just scrolling and all that stuff. But real quick, the backdrop or this scene is the hotel Per LA or Perla, Per LA, I guess. It's downtown LA as well. It's another independent property, but it's part of the Marriott, right? So it's a Marriott autograph collection, okay? And that's not, I don't think it's been an autograph collection a year yet. So you can go Marriott.com and find Hotel Perla or Hotel Per LA, which is downtown LA, okay? I love this property because the architecture, the building was built in the 20s, okay? Of course, it's been redone, retrofitted, and all that kind of stuff. It's a modern hotel, but it does have a lot of character, and I love those hotels that are built in the 20s. This used to be the Bank of Italy back in the 20s, and the vault, I said it was a bank, right? The vault is still there. It's, in fact, the restrooms, the public restrooms, you go into the vault to use the restroom. Yeah, it's dope. It's fire. But yeah, so I love that hotel. So if you ever see me post any photos or videos and has a bank vault, it's this hotel, Bank of Italy Hotel Per LA. It's one of those hotels. If you don't stay there, just go check it out. And it's got to be at least a 4-diamond hotel. So it does have the services that that maybe Miss Bougie Daniels, Miss Natasha Daniels would she would require, right? Or maybe she's more, like I said, more of the Ritz. The Ritz. If you're Ritz or bust, then this one, you know what? Go Ritz or bust. Go up, don't go down. But anyway, so it's 2024. Think different about promoting your brand, right? So, or promote your brand anyway, because a lot of times we leave it up to other people to do it, or we're afraid to do it. We're afraid to talk about what we do. I just saw this thing a little while ago. I'm a name dropper, okay? Miss Veronica Rivera, okay? She's a national sales director with San Diego Tourism Authority, okay? They're doing, I want to say, what was it? Gosh, she was promoting a conference that's going on in San Diego, and I can't even remember the conference, but I guess it doesn't matter what it is. It'll come to me in a minute. But she was promoting it. She's like, I'm Veronica Rivera. I'm, national sales director with, San Diego Tourism Authority, and we're hosting this event coming up. She gave the dates, all this kind of stuff. And she was like, if you need any help, I'm here to assist you, right? Give me a call. This, she said, call me on my cell phone. I'm like, who is doing that? Everyone is not doing that. Everyone is not comfortable enough to put themselves out there to think different about promoting their brand or what they're doing, who they are, what they do, and how you can help. Those are three things that she mentioned in that. I didn't have to say anything to her about that. She knew that, right? She told us who she was, what she does, and how she can help you. So if you're coming for this conference, she's talking about San Diego and all the the bells and whistles of San Diego. If you haven't been to San Diego, California, you need to go. Okay, beach community, beautiful, all that stuff, right? But I mean, I can just imagine how it is representing that destination, right? It's got to be an easy sell, but no, she does a great job. She's been with that organization at CVB for a while, and she's a good friend. So, and to me, to see her do that, because when I think, and I told her this, right, when I think of San Diego CVB, I think about Veronica Rivera. When I think about Veronica, I think about San Diego. To me, there's one and the same. So she understands the power that she has as a brand representing the San Diego brand. Does that make sense? If you become synonymous with your brand, you made it. I mean, only thing you can do is go down from there, right? So no, she is there. She's made it. I mean, that's what you want. You want people to be you want to be synonymous. You're a salesperson. You want to be synonymous with the brand you represent. Okay. So and doing things. How do you get to that point? You have to get outside your comfort zone. You have to do things like doing these lives, these impromptu lives, like Veronica did yesterday. So if you don't follow Veronica on LinkedIn, follow her, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. She just did hey, I'm Veronica, blah blah blah. I'm national sales director with San Diego Tourism Authority, and we're hosting this event on these dates. And if you need any assistance at all with navigating or have any questions about San Diego as a destination, hey, let me know. Here's my cell phone number. Call me. I'm like, huh? I said, go V. That's what I said. Okay. So, but anyway, so that's what it's all about, right? So being different about, your approach to promoting the brand that you are, because people forget that they are the brand, right? I won't buy San Diego because I like San Diego. No, I'm gonna buy it because I like Veronica, right? Because she's the one that's selling. San Diego's not selling itself. Someone has to sell it. Okay. And who's the person that's selling that I know? That's Veronica. So who do I reach out when I have a lead? Who do I reach out to? I got Veronica on speed dial, right? I text her or I'll email her and say, hey, Veronica, I have this group, blah, 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 blah. Can you assist me? And she'll respond back, yeah, I'll assist you, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's not my market. I'm sending it to someone else, so-and-so will get back to you. Boom. That's it, right? So we have that kind of, when you get to that point, you got their email, you got their cell phone, and you can just kind of do that because that's what it's about, right? It's breaking down those barriers and trying to find the right person. Well, she's the right person, right? And if she's not the right person, she will direct me to the right person. How can I say that? Because we've done it before. Okay, so there you go. So think different about how you're promoting your brand. Okay, not the same old way that we're doing it back in the 20, 22, 23. Well, that's out now. So you got to be upfront and let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Okay, so another thing that people don't even think about, they look at this, they look at the kind of the shows that I do or the lives that I do, and I'm always in a hotel. Have you thought about that? Every time I do a live, well, 9 out of 10 times. I mean, I think there was some last week that I was not in the hotel because I want to take a break from that. I want to exhale, right? But anyway, so moving into the new year, you see that every scene that I go to is a hotel. A hotel is being represented. Hotel per LA. Now, I've been on this show for 24 minutes. Okay, I've been showing different hotels. I've been on this one for about 5 to 10 minutes. So Hotel per LA is, is creating content for them. I don't even have to talk about them. You see it displayed in the background, right? So that's being different. We have to do things differently in order. We got to use mediums that we have never used before. The medium, the newspaper and the magazines and all that stuff. Who's looking at that stuff? Those are throwaways. Where are people spending most of their time? On the internet. okay, on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on IG, on X. X is the old Twitter, okay? So that's where people are spending time in. Why wouldn't we spend more money in that? Why wouldn't we spend, you know, take advantage of those opportunities that are presenting themselves, that are out there that we're sleeping on? Why are we sleeping on this stuff, right? So things like this, these are opportunities for you to, hey, come on this show and promote your brand. Like I said, you see Hotel Perla, downtown LA. I talked about it, right? I talked about building the 20s. I gave you a little history about it. And this is just off the top. This is off the dome, right? So there you go. So when I mentioned do things different, promote your brand. If that means you do lives, and I'm not saying you got to do lives every day like I do, because I do this daily check-in daily, and I do a on air with Russell of Hotels at least once a week, every Tuesday, right? So I'm doing things 5 days a week. Okay, I'm not saying you got to do things 5 days a week, but I'm saying that you should do a little more than what you're doing. Okay, that's what I'm doing. If you have questions at all, that's what I'm here to do. I'm a resource as well. And then the second thing is, what was the second? It's scrolling so slow, I don't even know what the heck it says. Let me just wait for it to get back around here. It says, let people know. Oh, who you are. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I forgot what I put. Yeah, so always let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Okay, so I'm Russell of Hotels. I do hotel site selection. I also do content creating for hotels, which I'm creating content right now, right? How is that going to help you or the hotelier? Well, it's giving you a different way of promoting your business. It's not traditional, because the traditional way would be newspapers and TV and magazines that no one's reading, right? This is the new way. This is the new norm. The new normal. People are saying that this is the new normal. I hate that term, but it is the new normal, right? People need to start promoting via social media, because that's where people are basically putting all their efforts or putting all their time. And if you don't believe it, I mean, look at, YouTube and TikTok and all them. Billions of people are listening on a daily basis, or watching and listening on a daily basis. So why wouldn't you do that? So anyway, so that's it. So I mean, this scrolling, the thing is scrolling. You can see exactly what you hear me. You heard what I was talking about. You see the different scenes that I go to. The next scene right here. Boom. That's the Bellamar Hotel, Manhattan Beach, right? This is one of their guest rooms. And most of these hotels I've used before, meaning I've used them for my groups, right? So like I said, I do hotel site selection, where I assist companies and organizations to find the right hotel for their their meetings, their conferences, their conventions. Doesn't matter where the hotel is. It can be in the United States. It can be around the world. It does not matter, because I've done international programs as well. 10 rooms or more is considered a group. Okay, so it has to be at least 10 rooms. If you say you have a group, well, it has to be at least 10 rooms for me to get involved with it. Okay, so so there you go. But I'm also here as a resource. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Russell at russellofhotels.com is my email. You can find me on every platform. See me on this one, whatever one you're looking at me at. If that's LinkedIn, if that's YouTube, Facebook, whatever. You can instant message. You can DM. You can slide into my DMs. You can do all that stuff. So, because I'm here to help, right? So there you go. I think that may be it. Like I said, these things don't have to be long. And this right here is the Westwood Look. It's a resort in Tucson, Arizona. Okay, so I was there for a program as well, right? So all these hotels I've used. I don't just, just post stuff or show content that I've never been to before. I'll never show you content or hotel, especially from a hotel or a destination that I have never experienced. Never. Okay, so there you go. So I see, hold on one second. Miss Daniels said, she says, thank you. Okay, no, thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on. Make sure you come on again. I do these, like I said, I do daily check-ins every day around noon. If you have time, feel free to come on and just, show your presence. You know what I mean? And then I do a show which is about an hour. It's called On Air with Russell of Hotels. And follow me on every social media platform. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, IG, X. I'm on all those. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on 6 platforms, right? So if people say, "Oh, I tried to find you," they're lying, okay? Because I'm on every social media platform. So there's no way that someone can say, "Oh, I tried to find you, I couldn't find you." You get, sometimes we get that, like, yeah, right. Don't come here with that smoke, okay? Because I know I'm accessible. And that's another thing. You got to be accessible. If you want people to find you, be accessible. I make no secrets, that I'm on these platforms. I make no secrets of what I do or how I can help, okay? Who I am. No secrets at all. Um, so hey, like I said, if you have questions about how I started, I got questions the other day. A good friend of mine, right, calls me the other day. Who texts me first and say, "Hey, you got a minute to go over some stuff?" He wanted to know how to do a live on LinkedIn, right? It's been a while since I had signed up for it, right? So they've changed things on how you used to do lives on LinkedIn. Okay, so real quick, LinkedIn, you used to have, in order to do a live, because before you can go right, if LinkedIn approved you, you can just click a button and then you'll be live on LinkedIn, right? Well, they had to approve you. Now, I got turned down the first time I asked them. They asked for, you had to write a script of why you wanted to do it. Why do you feel that your brand was worthy of being on LinkedIn to do live? So I had to do this thing, and the first time they turned me down. So I went back a year later and told them what I was doing now, and they said, "Okay, cool, you got access." But then later, you had to have a third party. You had to I use Ecamm Live, and then I use Restream. Restream is how you can get connected. So because you can't go directly to LinkedIn anymore. Okay, so you have to use like a platform like Restream, Restream.ai, no, .ao. AO? Just Restream.com. I don't know. It's one of those. So you can sign up for that, and you can go to as many as 8 platforms at one time. So like I said, I chose YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, IG, and X. So once you set all that stuff up, you can go directly to all those platforms at one time. So I'm doing one thing, but I'm hitting 8 platforms. You can do that, right? But you have to have a third party, which is, I use Restream. Okay, there's other ones out there, but I use Restream, and then for the different scenes and all that stuff, I use Ecamm Live. Okay, so I'm able to fly things in. I'm able to put tickers at the bottom. I'm able to do all these different things. So he called me because he's going to start doing like a series on LinkedIn. He said, "Well, how do I do it?" So I had to remember all those things. So I went back and broke it down for him and how to do it. And he tested it the same day I was telling him. He tested it. He did the Restream, and he's going to start his series next week. He's going to do some promotion first. And that's another thing I told him. I said, make sure before you start, you promote whatever you're going to do on LinkedIn or whatever, promote it first. Let people know that, hey, I'm Russell Hotels. I'm going to start this, this 2-part series on, hospitality industry starting, January 15th. Okay, so it gives me a couple of weeks to promote it, because you want people to get excited about it, right? And then, let them know that, okay, on the 15th at 1:00 p.m., that's when I'm going to go live and start this show. But they've seen the promotion up to that point. So make sure that it's not a surprise to people when you start doing a show like this. Like when I first started doing this, I promoted the heck out of it. When I have guests on, I promote the heck out of it, because I want to make sure the people know that I have a guest and who this guest is and what we're going to talk about, right? Although they don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I kind of, throw some things, at least give them a background of who they are. So, but yeah, I have guests come on. I have guests come on here as well to the daily check-in, so they can come on and talk about, did they choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you, right? Most people that come on, or I think 100% of the people that come on my show have a hospitality background. That's hotels, if that's CVBs, if they're what do you call them? Travel influencers or whatever, or travel content creators or travel journalists, all that kind of stuff. They come on. So you have to have some type of hospitality background to come on this particular show or my particular show. So, but yeah, so I make sure I vet them out. Most of the people I know, or they've been referred by someone else. So there you go. But you have to promote it before you show it. Promote it before you show it. before they show up, because you want to make sure people are excited about it. There's a buzz created, and I also give them the link to whatever promo that I'm doing, so they can send it. They can put it on their platforms, and then they can see that other people can see, like people that may not follow me or friends of mine or whatever. They see it like, oh, so and so is going to be on this On Air with Russell of Hotels. I don't know him, but I know her. You know what I mean? Or I don't know him, but I know this guy. So there you go. So those are things that you need to do. I didn't know I was gonna go there, but anyway, off the cusp. Sometimes these things just pop up. But anyway, I think that's it. You guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Miss Natasha Daniels. I appreciate you coming on with your questions and it's all about engagement, right? So let's moving forward into this year, engage more. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to let people know that you're there. Like I said, I appreciate her coming on and just showing her presence, right? I've never met her before, but she's had a presence here on LinkedIn on this live. So that's a good thing, right? So it's okay to have a presence. You ever heard this? And I've used this before. Have a presence without being present. There's a big difference, right? You understand what I mean? You can be somewhere and not be there. What? Huh? You get what I'm saying? You'll get it after I get off this live. You'll understand, like, oh my God, that's deep. I didn't get that, right? So, like I said, I've never met this Miss Natasha Daniels, but she has a presence on this show. She's asking these questions. She's engaging. There you go. Enough said. Drop the mic. I'm done. So anyway, you guys have a great day, great weekend. Appreciate you guys, and just remember on Monday. Let me say this: if you didn't like what I said today, join me again on Monday, and I'll try again. Okay. Anyway, have a good weekend, and thank you guys again for supporting On Air with Russell of Hotels, as well as Russell, the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. Appreciate you guys, and like I said, any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. All about being a resource. So there you go. So you guys have a great weekend.